So, David, you heard it right there from CNN. More Americans agree that President Trump's policies on deporting illegal migrants is the right thing to do. So why are we seeing so many Democratic lawmakers going down to El Salvador to meet with an accused MS-13 gang member?
Because it's bigger, as we discussed yesterday on the Big Money Show, than Abrego Garcia. They don't care about him. They did this play with blacks for decades. Jim Clyburn, the corrupt black caucus. Now you have the members of the Hispanic caucus supporting this. They want the population that's leaving them to stay. They want the votes. And they don't care if anything happens to a Garcia or otherwise. But for all the Democrats, go, please go. James Comer denied the Codell. They sent the letter in. Let them go, use their own money. Cory Booker, all of the virtue signaling. I want the optics of an MS-13 tattooed hand with a United States Senator, Chris Van Hollen, and Cory Booker and all of the other virtue signalers to be the ad that Republicans use when it comes down to safety. Do women and men, do Americans want to be safe, or do you want to be raped, murdered, robbed in whatever way? The Democrats are supporting that, just like many of those Democrats, tacitly or otherwise, support the pro-terrorist protesters on campuses.
Nicole?
Yeah, so I want to piggyback on what David's saying here. First of all, the Democrats have lost their mind when it came to this situation, and specifically Cory Booker. Shame on him. You heard him. So he's now saying he's going to go to El Salvador as well. He's just going to hop on this bandwagon.
Spartacus.
Yes, but guess what? He is a sitting senator in our state of New Jersey. Do you know what else is happening with New Jersey? Eden Alexander, a 20-year-old, I call him a kid because he's younger than my oldest son, but he is an innocent hostage still kept by Hamas in the tunnels, in the rubble. And Cory Booker, all he has done for him is wear a pin, and during his 25-hour rant, which was for nothing but showboating, is said, you know what, I'm thinking about him. Great that he's thinking about his own constituent, but he's going to fly to El Salvador for someone who's not a U.S. citizen. Shame on you, Cory Booker.
And you know what, Raymond, it is true. What Nicole is saying is absolutely right. The Democrats are picking some really weird causes to latch onto here. Yeah. We saw the White House. This is call for number one, if we can show everyone. But the White House posted on X a side-by-side of President Trump with, who you see there, Patty Morin. That's the mother of the Maryland woman who was killed by an illegal migrant, Rachel Morin. And then on the other side of the screen there, you see Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen with Abrego Garcia. It just makes you scratch your head and say, what are the Democrats doing?
Well, apparently they love having conjugal visits with MS-13 members, I guess. But this is a real problem. I mean, with apologies to my friend James Carville, who is, look, he's a brilliant mind, and as Matt Towery said the other night on the Ingram show, they may be doing this, and he may be advocating this. They're not worried about America right now. They're worried about the far left and the energized base, the beaten down base in their own party. And they think this Abrego Garcia character somehow engenders sympathy from the left, and they can raise a lot of money off of it. That might be true, but we'll see. But the larger issue that David raised is the right one. This looks really bad for the entire party. And I don't know how much longer you can keep saying he's not a member of MS-13 or this hasn't been proven. The guy's tats now have shown up. The president tweeted them overnight. It's clear this guy is a loving father from Maryland the way Luigi Mangione is a sweet kid from Baltimore. It doesn't wash out.
Here's a really key point on the tattoos, by the way.
Yeah.
If those tattoos are on his hand and he is not a member of MS-13, he gets killed by MS-13.
Right.
And when you look at marijuana, the S, the 1 to 3, it's a very clever way in which they do this. You do not. This is a death cult. This is not just your ordinary soldiers from Chicago or gangs. This is someone, and if you have those tattoos and you're not a member, you're a target.
Well, can I say one thing, though? What if, though, he was a member back in El Salvador, and when he came to the United States, he was fleeing from them? Like, tattoos are permanent.
Well, he did.
Now it's safe.
Yeah, but part of his argument was he didn't want to go back to El Salvador because he thought a rival gang was going to take him out. I don't know about you all, but I don't worry about rival gangs because I'm not a member of a gang. So this guy's got a real narrative problem. The Democrats, to hang their shingle on this guy, is a real problem.
Keep going, Democrats. Keep going.
Well, to your point, Nicole, I do think there are questions about his gang affiliation, and that's why we hear the Democrats seizing on this due process issue, which as a lawyer, I do see a need to work out those issues in the court, but I think the legal process is separate from the political discussion that we just had. I think clearly the Republicans in the White House are on solid ground here.
I got to make this quick point. I know we got to go. Due process. He was given his due process in 2 immigration courts. Due process.
Well, we're going to get to due
between
process.
an American
We're going to start
citizen and
talking
a
about what's
criminal
coming
illegal.
up next at the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about. That's what the whole argument's going to be, is due process.